salut à tous et bienvenue pour la suite de Star Trek Résurgence. J'espère que vous allez bien. On va continuer ce let's play pour lequel je prends beaucoup de plaisir. La dernière fois on s'était quitté sur une situation un peu critique, on va pas se mytho. il y a eu des morts, hein, notamment l'équipage alidien qui a perdu quand même son amiral, hein, par ma faute. Mais bon, j'ai voulu sauver une de mon équipage, donc bon, l'un dans l'autre, voilà, il y a des sacrifices, hein, qu'est-ce que vous voulez que je vous dise. Et puis bon, on avait laissé aussi Carter et deux de ses collègues sur le vaisseau alidien abandonné face à Miranda, hein, Miranda qui a définitivement tourné du côté obscur. Alors, c'est pas réellement Miranda, c'est le corps de Miranda, mais avec une autre conscience, un autre ADN, une autre intelligence à l'intérieur qui est celle des Técons, la race qui avait disparu depuis des millénaires et qui finalement est toujours là, hein, est toujours là, et c'est un peu l'arme secrète des Otari. Donc voilà, résumé un peu compliqué, un peu compliqué. Je pense que vous n'avez pas tout à fait compris, mais vous inquiétez pas, le jeu se laisse suivre facilement. Donc je pense que ça devrait le faire. Voilou, en tout cas, je kiffe bien ce jeu, malgré, comme je le dis à chaque fois, les bugs. Oh là là, les bugs. Allez. Bon là, il va falloir qu'on s'explique. Il va falloir qu'on explique aux Alidiens que leur amiral, il est mort. Ah putain, il le pleure et tout. Bon après, il n'y a pas que l'amiral qui est mort, il y a aussi d'autres membres de l'équipage.
Saved as many Lydian lives as you could. And more importantly, you looked after your crew. That's what counts. You have to look out for your own, first and foremost.
I just wish I could have saved them all.
We all do. But you did the best you could. So,
lui ça va, il le prend bien.
yourself up over it.
Il le prend bien.
Unfortunately, the Admiral was among those who didn't make it. I'm sure it's a huge blow to the Lydians. I hope they don't blame us. We suffered our own losses as well.
How are we getting our away team back?
Ambassador Spock and the rest of the senior staff are waiting for us in the briefing room to discuss just that. I wanted a chance for you and I to speak first, given the circumstances. While protocol might suggest we alert Starfleet about our situation, missing crew, the data breach, possible threat from the Hotari...
Ouais, ça fait beaucoup quand même, hein. Ça fait beaucoup à...
we're better off keeping this to ourselves.
Ouais, je suis d'accord.
You know what's at stake for me here, and what is at stake for you too. I can't afford
c'est la carrière, ok.
and I'm really counting on your support. I don't want to raise a false alarm just yet. I have every confidence we can wrap this up before it gets.
De toute façon, on va rien dire pour le moment. Il vaut mieux qu'on suive le leader. C'est lui qui prendra, on s'en fout. Après, bon, moi, je vais essayer quand même de sauver l'équipage, donc bon. On va essayer d'étouffer un petit peu l'affaire. Allez. Ça va passer crème, vous inquiétez pas.
Unfortunately, no. Somehow they were able to mask the signature and block our ability to track their trajectory.
I'm also concerned about what went with them. A Taconian energy source.
Sidron referred to it as the Cartabula.
Yes, I've been analyzing your tricorder scans. This Cartabula is more powerful than any energy source on record. It disabled our ability to warp and likely created the ion storm.
Something that powerful in their hands?
We have to find that ship.
It could be anywhere by now.
Literally anywhere.
I have faith in our away team. They won't give up easily, and if they can somehow manage to stay alive, then maybe they could.
Ah oui, c'est vrai qu'il y en avait un qui s'était fait transpercer le ventre aussi dans l'équipage. J'avais oublié cette affaire. Parce que ils étaient 4, ils sont plus que 3. Hein.
We're assessing what was lost as we speak. It's just too soon to say exactly what they had access to.
Starfleet needs to know about this.
We're not contacting Starfleet until we fully understand the situation. There are too many unknowns.
They stole our data. That's reason enough to warn Starfleet.
But the captain does have a point. It might be better to wait until we know more.
We either sound the alarm prematurely and look bad if nothing comes of it, or we keep this to ourselves and take the blame when it blows up in our face. Either way, we can't afford to get this wrong.
Indecision is not without its own consequences.
I want to speak with the Hotari and get to the bottom of this before we get Starfleet involved.
Voilà.
I expect we'll meet resistance. The Hotari think we violated our neutrality by entering their minds. Assuming the negotiations are off, we no longer have an official role here.
We still have a responsibility to the Hotari and the Elydians.
The Takan are a threat to both their civilizations.
No,
Qu'est-ce qu'elle a, elle?
they're a threat to us all.
Ah. Ah bah oui, c'est vrai qu'elle elle a tout découvert, ouais.
Found in the Taconian vault is an advanced delivery mechanism for a complex biogenetic transformation process.
Meaning what, exactly?
Not only are they bioforming innocent hosts, transforming them into Takan, they're taking the DNA and engrammatic data of a specific Taconian and displacing that of its host.
Oui, j'ai un invité surprise, là, j'ai mon chat qui est avec moi.
It's a hostile takeover on a cellular level.
Ah voilà, il se
Bringing
couche.
individual Takan back to life, one by one.
And what happens to the host?
It's hard to say exactly. Some of their memories remain intact, but the implanted Taconian identity appears to have full control. In time, all that remains of the host may be lost entirely.
Like a parasite.
Exactly. Petty Officer Maris called herself a scion of the flame, but the computer had no information about it.
She also shot the hell out of my ship as she escaped and nearly killed a few of our crew. So we know this about those scions. They're dangerous.
Oui, ça
The
c'est
Takan have crossed a
un
line.
bon résumé.
That much is certain. However, meeting with the Hotari could offer insight into their true
Après voilà, les Otari en soi,
under the
ce sont aussi des
pretense
victimes
of
parce que
apology,
c'est finalement c'est qu'un
betraying
petit
their
groupe.
trust and trespassing on their
C'est qu'un petit
territory.
group hein, qui a
Given
pris
the
le
options,
contrôle.
This
Un
might
petit
be our
groupe
best
sous
chance
l'influence
to
des
find out
Técons.
more about what they have planned.
I couldn't agree more.
With the Cartabula gone, I can confirm we have regained warp capability and the use of our transporters.
Excellent. Commander Ermot, see if we can arrange a meeting on Hotari as soon as possible. As Ambassador Spock suggested, under the pretense of an apology.
Aye, Captain.
Nice work, everyone.
You're long overdue for a Duridium infusion.
Ah,
It looks like I am.
ouais, dépêche-toi parce que tu veux nous faire un malaise toi.
Aside from almost running out of Duridium, you're in good health.
Nice to get some positive news for a change.
You, I don't worry about. The captain, however,
Oula, qu'est-ce qu'elle veut?
Go on.
you see it, don't you? He's desperate. Withholding intel
Mais il pense qu'à
from
à sa carrière, le capitaine.
reputation. That's
Voilà.
not normal behavior for a captain. And you've dodged the issue. We can't make mistakes. Might go down as the most obvious thing a first officer ever said. You've spent enough time with him now, seen enough of how he runs the ship. If there's something wrong, as the ship's doctor, I need to know. Don't sugarcoat it. You know I wouldn't.
Il va très bien. Hein.
He's perfectly fine. The captain is doing everything he can to ensure our success. I know you don't
Après,
agree
je
with
pense
his
pas que le
methods,
capitaine ce soit un mauvais bougre,
but you
c'est
can't
juste que
deny his
bon,
heart is
voilà,
in the
il
right
pense à sa
place.
carrière, c'est un.
Well, if that's what
Il
you
pense à sa
believe,
retraite.
just know the rest of us have to
Mais
live
bon.
with your decisions. Make sure you remember that.
À un moment donné, il faudrait peut-être qu'il passe le flambeau. Parce que là, il commence à faire de la merde. Ah, bah c'est bon, elle est rétablie elle.
I'll be right back.
How's your wound?
Like it was never there. I feel lucky you were there with me. Without you, I'd be, well... Thank you for saving my life. Even with the wonders of your technology, it wouldn't have mattered if you'd left me for dead.
I'm glad you're alive, but you shouldn't have protected me. You almost got yourself killed.
But then you would have been hurt.
I'm a soldier. It's my job to get hurt.
I suppose. We saw the truth down in those mines. what
Oui.
Citron and Galvin really are.
Oui,
Who they've
on a vu.
become. The lengths they're willing to go to. What they did to that Lydian. It's hard to accept that everything I thought I knew, so much was a lie.
T'inquiète, on va les arrêter.
That underneath our feet the entire time.
What we learned down there will help us win this fight. Truth is power, and we'll use that to stop Galvin and Citron.
If you're right, then it was worth it. I truly hope you're right.
Commander Rydick, you're needed on the bridge at once.
What is it?
The Hotari have agreed to meet.
Mais non. Est-ce que c'est les otaries gentils ou méchants? Passager clandestin. Ah bah oui, ça c'est Carter et les deux autres. Yes.
They haven't found us yet.
We can't just wait to be rescued. We have no idea when or if the Resolute is gonna catch up. But if we can get access to the Zeldi systems, we might be able to figure out what the Takan are up to. You got somewhere we could do that?
Sinon on prend une navette et on se casse dans l'espace, wesh. Bon, moi je te suis.
Up there? All right. Etzelar, let's do this.
The internal sensors.
The what?
When they scan the ship for life signs, they'll know right where we are.
There must be devices that perform the scan.
Right there. And there.
Ok.
There's several of them around the room.
Got it.
Il faut les péter.
We'll disable them.
How?
Voilà.
They're too high to reach, even for me.
Not too high for our phasers.
Low power, Millie. Let's not set off any fire alarms.
I got the ones over here.
Alors.
Got one.
Paf.
Another down.
Oh, c'est moi qui fais tout quoi.
Hurry, Carter!
I am.
Attends, elle en a fait un, moi j'en fais 76. L'exagération du sud, bien entendu. Il est où le dernier? Bah. 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 Je l'ai pas vu moi le dernier. Ah, peut-être là-dedans, non? Ah, là.
Here it comes.
Ouais, il était pas non plus méga évident. Ah bah bravo. Voilà, on a déclenché l'alarme. Super. Bravo.
It worked. They won't be able to detect us.
Ok, bon c'est bon.
That
Je
buys
pensais
us
que c'était
some
l'alarme, mais
time.
non.
Now that the Zeldi has its power again, I might be able to access some of the ship's systems from here. I'll take care not to give away our position.
The Takan might not even know we're still on board this ship. Miranda only saw us transport away. She probably thinks we're back on the Resolute.
Miranda.
Non mais elle est morte, oublie-la. Enfin,
Don't give up on her yet, Carter. She had you in her sights, and she didn't shoot. That means the real Miranda is still
elle est
in
morte.
there. The Takan don't have her. Not completely, at least. She must still feel something.
She disintegrated crewman Bell. If Miranda's personality still exists, she can't help us.
We don't know how this works, and I'm not giving up on her. I know she played us, used our sympathies, your relationship to break out of sickbay.
Ouais.
But maybe there's a way to turn her back and Miranda could help us stop the Takan. Here, on the ship. Just because the Trill joining is permanent doesn't mean the Takan bioform
Quand elle t'aura
has to be.
buté, tu verras, ouais.
I've heard enough of your prattling on about your friend. You have to think like a soldier.
Merci.
She's our enemy now. She'll be dealt with like the rest of the Takan.
My friend Miranda is not responsible for what she's doing. The Takan have taken control of her mind. We certainly can't kill her for it.
Speak for yourself. If anyone threatens the Empire, they are the enemy. It's just one life, and it's already been lost.
You don't get to talk about Miranda.
You don't get to ignore the truth.
You better watch your tone, buddy.
Ouais, faut un peu le remettre à sa place, là, Lydien, parce qu'il prend trop la confiance.
And you lost my admiral and the rest of the final transport in the process.
We also lost Belle, one of ours.
Our losses are mounting. Yours are just beginning.
We're stuck on this ship, same as you.
Bon, arrêtons de nous disputer, mettons-nous au travail, hein. C'est bon, hein.
And they're closing down systems faster than I can check them. They're always changing these interfaces. I can hardly keep up.
All right, step aside. We'll take it from here.
Fine. Make yourselves useful.
Voilà, je vais te montrer comment on fait.
They're using a senior officer's access code to lock down our systems from the bridge.
Voilà, voilà comment on
The
pirate.
Khan must have
En vrai.
turned someone in command.
Professionnel. Bim.
Here's something. I can see the course they have plotted in. The Lydian fleet has explored a lot of systems, but it's all in the opposite direction of where we're going. The Zeldi, that's where we are.
That's not exactly news.
We're headed to the edge of the galaxy.
Nothing but uninhabited systems along the way. And if we keep going, we'll leave charted space. A lot sooner than I like to think about, too.
That can't happen. We need to take control and turn this ship around. Get back to the front lines of the battle for Lydia.
We are on the front lines. They're going to do this all over the Quadrant. The whole Federation is at risk.
That is a possibility, but it's already a reality for my people.
I'm sure it's pretty damn real for the people who are trapped in their own bodies controlled by the Takan. You can't just turn your back on them.
I'll take this ship
Je me demande
without
si à la
you
fin,
if
je
I
vais pas
have to,
devoir faire un choix
and I'll bring it back
entre
to
sauver
Lydia,
Miranda ou
or
sauver la
I'll
Miss, là.
destroy it. I won't let it stay in the hands
Moi, je
of
vous
the
le dis
enemy.
direct, hein, je sauverai la
Think
Miss.
strategically. We stand a better chance by working together. You're right to be angry, but it doesn't do any good to turn it on us.
Fair enough.
À moins que Miranda se...
Important thing is
voilà,
that we get control of this ship,
fasse un retournement de
so that we don't end
situation,
up
mais
so
j'y crois
far
pas trop.
away that the Resolute can't ever catch up to us.
And if we control the Zeldi, that also means they can't use that Cartabula thing.
I'm not sure we can do much more from here.
What's this? It's a data stream.
It looks to be a two-way communication.
Let me see if I could put it through a demultiplexing processor.
Can you get that clearer?
I'm trying. Okay. That should do it.
Hello? Can you read me?
Itasca, is that you?
Major!
Ils sont où?
It's my lieutenant. Where are you?
I'm here with some of the others. We're trapped in the ATP.
Our artillery targeting platform.
The bulkheads are sealed, and ruptured power conduits on the other side are discharging at high voltage. Major, we've seen Sidron and the other Atari, and if we can get free, I think we'll be able to overpower them and take back the ship.
Itasca, are you
Ah,
still there?
il y a peut-être moyen qu'ils reprennent le contrôle quand même.
Itasca.
Attends, je remets le contact.
You shouldn't trust anyone else you meet. The Hatari have been transforming people on this ship. We've seen it happen.
Bioforming.
It's only a matter of time before any remaining crew are turned against us. You have to come and help us.
I gotta ask, are you sure that's really your comrade?
It's Itasca. You're going to have to trust me. I know Lieutenant Itasca well. That's her. Clear and not under duress beyond our current circumstances.
Bon, j'espère qu'il aura raison.
I'm sure of it.
You better be right about this.
If I suspect something is amiss, I'll deal with Itasca myself.
Remind me not to get
Je vous le disais, moi je l'aime bien lui. Il est un peu brut, mais
We'll make
c'est
it
un
to
bon.
you undetected and we'll free you from the ATP.
We'll be ready and waiting, sir.
I may not know the computers very well, but I know every inch of this ship. I can get us there, safely, through the back routes.
Ouais, mais admettons. Un Técon là prend la. Usurpe l'identité d'un Alidien, il récupère sa mémoire. Donc techniquement, il peut connaître aussi des passages secrets. Bon, alors qu'est-ce qu'ils veulent? C'est avec la reine qu'on va papoter là ou. Démasquage, le titre. Ah, je peux vous dire, ça va chier là. Ok, oui, ça va chier. Là, il y a Spock, hein. Ça déconne pas. Après, elle, je pense pas qu'elle soit contaminée. Je pense qu'elle c'est juste une reine qui fait son taf, mais.
Spare us your apologies, your excuses, your pathetic explanations. You said you were here under the pretense of peace, yet you trespassed into our minds. I should have known you couldn't be trusted when you sided with the Illidians. Your intentions have been clear from the start.
Moi, j'y vais cash.
A warp disrupting beam originating from Tau was holding our ship hostage. This is a farce. You never had any intention of negotiating a peaceful resolution to this conflict.
Your Majesty, if I may.
Her actions nearly caused a war.
I was addressing the Queen.
Galvin speaks for the Hotari now.
Fortunately, we were able to resolve this ourselves despite your interference. The Illidians have agreed the mines will remain under Hotari control.
We now recognize the Hotari as the sole
Bah tiens,
authority in this region.
ils sont tous tes cons.
Your presence here is no longer necessary.
So you can consider the matter resolved.
They never wanted the Federation involved. This was all just a ploy from the start.
We never needed the Federation involved. But we're so thankful that you've come.
That being said, the sooner you leave, the better.
The hell we will. What about my crew trapped aboard that ship? Or what you did to my security team? The data you stole? I want to make one thing clear. No one is to leave Hotari space without Federation approval. No one.
You think you have that power, when in fact you have none. You came here under the presumption you would be the ultimate authority. That you would show up and render judgment in this petty dispute over precious resources between lesser people. But instead, your arrogance and self-interest was your undoing. Blinding you to the real power at work here.
Mais ouais, on est ici à votre demande. On se fout de notre gueule.
We came at your request to help solve the problem, not create one.
You came because I wanted to see the mighty Federation for myself, the greatest power in the galaxy. Needless to say, I was disappointed.
They never wanted our help. They were setting us up from the start. Commander Rydek saw what you did in those mines. How you bioformed innocent people against their will and turned them into Takan.
Oula, oula. Parle pas trop quand même. Ils étaient prêts à nous laisser partir. Hein.
Takan. A word I haven't heard in a very long time. At the height of our power, the Takan Empire spanned hundreds of thousands of light years and trillions of Taconians.
An empire that encompassed what is now considered Federation territory.
Ah mais ils sont tous ok. Ok, bon, ils sont tous sous l'emprise. Ok, même la reine.
Everything you hold dear will be gone. The first of many painful losses to come.
That may play well with your bioformed friends. But your empty threats don't scare us.
Just a friendly word.
Le problème c'est qu'on n'a pas appelé Starfleet.
You'll know when I'm threatening you. You might be surprised how many want to be part of the most advanced civilization the galaxy has ever seen. We will not stop until we've reclaimed what is rightfully ours. Imagine what a queen, a starship captain, or even a Federation ambassador could accomplish if their power was wielded by a truly superior entity. In the face of such impossible odds against an adversary so
Ah oui, genre il nous menace de nous prendre notre
every way.
stack à nous quoi. Ok.
The only logical choice is to submit.
Never.
Oh oh. Oh oh. Coup de taser. Allez hop, ça dégage. T'as voulu me la faire à l'envers toi. Il y a 2 secondes tu voulais nous laisser partir hein.
Get us out of here, now!
Beam us out.
Salut. Bon, maintenant on sait qu'on n'est plus les bienvenus là. Là c'est officiel.
You ever done something like this before?
Close quarters combat? Infiltrating an enemy stronghold?
Something like that.
I once spent 6 days crawling through sewers during the siege of Tofar Ket to retake the citadel there. That's just one of many campaigns I've served in. My dress uniform is well decorated.
I'm glad we're here with you. We need your kind of experience.
I should say you do. And I'll be glad to have Lieutenant Itasca with us. She fought shoulder to shoulder with me in that siege.
So you're pretty close, huh?
She's like a daughter to me. She's saved my life more than once. She's more than just a comrade in arms.
That must mean she's a good soldier.
The very best.
We saved your life. What does that make us?
We aren't out of danger yet. But once we have my comrades, proper soldiers, we'll be able to retake the bridge. Then, our fleets will catch up to us. The ATP is just down that corridor.
Comment t'as su?
Is this the artillery platform?
This is the power distribution for the forward armament cluster.
Attends, réfléchis bien.
There was combat here. Disruptor burns on the walls. Signs of a grenade detonation.
If there was a fight, the Takan might still be nearby.
Maybe my people killed them.
Or they could be waiting for us.
Ouais, je pense plutôt à ça, moi.
Problem for when we meet them.
The distribution conduits have been knocked loose. The currents in those lines would be lethal. Is there any way to power those down?
Each circuit has a control panel that regulates power to the
Oh là là. Ça va être moi qui vais me taper tout ça, quoi.
The power lines and the control panels. I should be able to clear a safe path to your crew.
We'll get the door open here.
It's heavy.
Trouver les consoles pour désactiver l'électricité. Bon, on va commencer par celle-ci, j'imagine. Ok, ça c'est fait. Alors là, je peux pas y aller. Là, peut-être. Ok. Je sais pas si ça valait le coup de visiter l'autre côté, mais... Non, c'est bon, regardez. Console est ici. C'est safe. Ah merde. Ça a rien fait, c'est ça? Attends, on va aller voir en dessous. Ah ouais merde, regardez. Celle-là elle est électrique. Et là... Ah merde, ils sont là. Oupsie. Oh. Merde, j'ai perdu une vie. Putain. Waouh. J'ai failli crever les gars. Hein.
Federation, you made it.
Oui, merci.
There's a lot of collateral damage out here.
They backed us into a corner.
We did that to drive them out. Put some space between us and the enemy.
Et sinon, merci, ça vous irait? Me dire merci.
They've given up on capture.
We'll never make it if we go back that way. You, give me a hand with this.
Hop. Faut pas que j'oublie qu'il y a une échelle qui est qui a pris quelques décharges.
Go. Behind us.
Bien joué ça. Les objets avec des espèces d'étoiles cheloues là, ouais. Ouais ok, il faut que je tire dessus quoi. Oh putain. J'ai encore failli crever hein. Il me restait encore qu'une étoile hein. C'est sur la corde là. Sur le fil même. Attends, what? Putain. Putain, non, là, c'est mort. Allez. Ah, pour lui c'est foutu. Pour lui c'est foutu.
Hold him back. We can't let him reach the stairs.
Voilà. C'est bon. C'était un dax. Comme d'hab. Putain, il me reste encore une vie. Non. Ah mais ils sont violents. On n'a pas le choix.
Must live to fight.
Mais on va peut-être sûrement retomber sur Miranda, je pense. Bon, on a fait tout ça pour sauver 2 personnes ou...
We let the enemy take them. Hadri and Private Turo.
They weren't the only ones. But if we hadn't, it would have been all of us. I'll have to live with that.
Bon ça, on a sauvé 3 autres.
I'll answer for it when I die.
On a fait une mission pour 4 personnes.
It's not the Illidian way to leave one of our own behind. It's a sin to do so.
We've lost people too. I know it's not easy.
What makes it worse is that when we were in there, trapped, Hadri is the one who said that we had to live to fight. And we all agreed.
C'est lui qui s'est fait
We
gauler.
said, if one of us was taken, the others wouldn't stop.
Ah, attends.
We'd keep going, make our way to the bridge. They died so we could fight on.
Pourquoi il y a
The
cette
Takan
musique?
don't want them dead.
They want to steal their bodies. And steal their minds.
The Takan knows everything the host knows.
That means
Bah oui.
they know our plan. They know we're heading to the bridge.
Ah merde. Bah oui, ça je m'en doutais qu'ils connaissaient les souvenirs.
Tylus, you should be in sickbay.
I'll finish this.
I couldn't just lie there knowing the entire fate of Hotari hangs in the balance. How did it go? You look exhausted.
I'll be honest. It was a total disaster.
That can't be true. I heard a rumor that they'd made a deal, that the Elydians agreed to peace.
Ouais, bah
When
normal,
we
ils
saw
sont tous
Sidron
des
do
cons.
to the diplomat in the mines, I could hardly believe there was hope, but then... Is that true?
I'm afraid the truth is far worse than that.
There's no deal.
Oh si, y'en a un.
No. They're all Takan now. The Hotari, the Elydians, everyone.
No. That can't be true.
Eh si. Eh si.
Where will I go? I can't go back. I don't have a home anymore. Everything I've ever known is gone.
Bienvenue dans le
You're
vaisseau,
always
t'inquiète.
safe aboard this ship.
On va te trouver un poste.
And you're welcome to
En
stay
cuisine.
as long as you need.
Thank you.
T'inquiète donc point.
The Federation stands with the Hotari. You don't have to doubt it for a second.
Yellow alert.
Commander Rydek, we need you on the bridge immediately.
Alerte jaune, c'est quoi ça encore? Ça s'arrête jamais, hein. On n'a jamais un moment chill dans le jeu, hein. C'est tout le temps la merde.
We've got an
elle a
Elydian
bugué.
ship, the Veskar, rapidly bearing down on our position.
Or what was the Veskar? Now I'm not so sure.
Bring it up on the view screen.
600 kilometers in closing. Still coming straight for us.
Eh bah, lui va vouloir qu'on tire dessus.
Commander?
Have you tried hailing them?
Try it.
Hailing the Elydian ship now. No response.
400 kilometers in closing.
Shields up. Ready phasers.
Shields up. Phasers ready. Photon torpedo.
Là, je vais avoir le choix entre.
Lock phasers and open
Ah
fire.
merde. Est-ce qu'on les bute ou pas? Mais le problème, c'est qu'il y a notre équipage dessus, quoi.
Deflectors still at full power?
That bypassed our shields entirely.
That's impossible. God damn it, return fire. Everything we've got. Rydek, modulate the shield frequencies. See if we can get us any cover.
Commander,
I've got this. Just keep firing.
Qu'est-ce que je vais faire, moi?
Shields still have no effect.
That doesn't make sense.
I'll try another. There!
We've got incoming. How do they keep matching our shield frequency?
They couldn't. Unless... They've compromised our shield algorithms. They can bypass our shields at will.
What?
Bah oui, parce qu'en fait, ils connaissent... C'est Miranda. Elle connaît les trucs du vaisseau. Ok.
Why'd they stop?
Damage report.
Running on emergency power. Major hull damage on decks 4 through 7.
Je vais devoir prendre toutes les décisions.
We're completely vulnerable.
Commander, we're being held by the Veskar. It's Galvin.
On screen.
Coucou.
Commander Rydek, where's your captain? Not dead, I hope. At least, not yet.
You're dealing with me. Is that a problem?
One inferior life form is as good as another. I have to give you credit, Commander. You survived longer than I thought you would. But make no mistake, your shields are useless, your weapons ineffective, and there's nothing you can do. I could destroy you at any moment, but I'd rather hear your pleas for mercy first. Your existence is entirely in my hands, and I'm not in a forgiving mood.
If you want to destroy us, then I invite you to do your
Ouais, je suis en mode provoque, je suis désolé.
I'd rather die with honor than beg for your mercy.
Voilà. Tchè.
You may just get your wish. I've been thinking about what you said, Commander. I don't think you'll find my threats so empty now.
The Veskar's weapons are powering up.
Ah bah écoute, hein, on va tenir parole. On va pas se mettre à genoux devant eux. Ah, il se barre. Voilà, ça c'est une démonstration de force.
So I've decided to let you live, despite your insolence. Tell your Federation that Takan are as merciful as they are powerful. That you were fortunate to escape with your lives.
This isn't over.
I assure you, we've only just begun.
I've lost their signal.
En fait, c'était pas le vaisseau. C'était pas le vaisseau dans lequel sont les autres. C'était un vaisseau vraiment qui venait de la planète. Bon, peut-être qu'il va falloir avertir Starfleet, non?
Hull breach should be patched up in a matter of hours. Impulse power is at 67%. Should be fully restored soon.
Still no luck tracking Galvin's warp signature. They've all but disappeared.
Keep trying. Finding that son of a bitch is the best shot we've got.
Commander Rydek, you had the Khan after the ship was attacked. What is your assessment, given our current situation and the losses we have suffered?
Là, il faut que je le dise.
I'd rather not fight this alone. We need to call for reinforcements.
In that case, we might have an option. Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire. If anyone could find Galvin, it would be him.
Okay.
That's assuming he's willing to help us.
True, but there's only one way to find out.
Wouldn't we need to secure authorization from the Federation Council to contact him?
The nearest Federation outpost is Angoria. I can travel there by shuttle and inform them personally of the threat from the Takan. Meanwhile, the Resolute can travel to the Delphi Ardu system in search of Portal 6-3.
I still have my doubts.
I do not. Captain
Fais
William
confiance à
T.
Spock.
Riker has first-hand experience with the area and with Portal 6-3. His guidance will prove invaluable and should alleviate your concerns.
Delphi Ardu 4 is a restricted zone for good reason. For all we know, we could be walking into a trap. Not to mention the high likelihood Portal 6-3's allegiance will be with the Takan. It's just too much of a risk. A waste of time. Time we can't afford to lose.
C'est notre seule option.
We have no way of knowing where those two Elydian ships are, or where they're going. Another Taconian might be able to at least point us in the right direction.
Or we're the ones pointing him right toward his fellow Takan, making the problem worse.
I am inclined to agree with Commander Rydek. Her logic is sound. This portal may have knowledge that proves to be invaluable, including information on the nature of the Cartabula. We must act on the facts at hand.
Then we'll give it our best.
I'll arrange a meeting with Captain Riker.
And I will speak with the Council. They need to understand the magnitude of the situation. I can leave for Andoria immediately. I wish you luck finding Portal 6-3. The very future of the Federation may rest.
Vas-y, fais-nous le signe. Ah merde, je pensais qu'il allait faire son signe. Eh, Spock, c'est vraiment le sang, lui. Hein. Je vous le dis. Hein.
So we can expect at least that many hostiles.
If they bioformed Hadri, they know we're coming.
Which means everyone needs to be ready for... Take cover! Take cover!
Oui, il déconne pas.
Now what? We need that door sealed.
We can handle that. Where do you need us?
There's an access panel there. You should be able to patch into the local systems. We'll be shot getting there. I'll cover you. On my signal. Now!
De toute façon, ça va finir un face-to-face avec la Miss, hein. Miss Miranda, c'est sûr. Sûr de sûr. Ouf, le roi de l'informatique.
Wait, what's this?
Got something?
Gravity. If I invert the artificial gravity inside the bridge, that'll throw anyone on the bridge right up into the ceiling.
He'll never see it coming.
Itasca, get ready to charge.
Charge?
Reversing gravity polarity. Now!
Ouh.
Amazing.
Close in!
How do we get them down?
Bon, laisse-le là, hein. Ok, on a fait comme ça. Haute technique.
What are we gonna do with them?
We don't have time to take prisoners.
Ah, ok.
So you're just gonna shoot him?
I haven't decided yet.
It's not just up to you.
I'm the ranking officer.
And we're not in your army.
It may not be convenient, but we don't kill enemies who've surrendered.
Keeping prisoners is a luxury we don't have.
It's not a damn luxury.
You're an engineer, not a soldier. This is clearly my territory.
You think you have enemy combatants here? This is a hostage situation.
Oh,
Each one of them has an innocent life inside. I'll keep watch on them.
As will I. We can't let our guard down around the enemy.
Petty Officer Diaz and I will figure out how to stop the ship.
Let's hurry. The rest of the Takan could show up any minute. Crystals. They're all over this place.
Je sais pas si du coup si j'avais mis si j'avais demandé de les abattre, est-ce que ça il l'aurait fait? Je pense pas. Je pense que je me serais embrouillé avec ma pote là.
We saw that already. Headed to the edge of the galaxy.
It's only a display. We couldn't use it to change course or alter speed.
Ok, ok, c'est bon, t'enflamme pas. Hein. Putain, je propose des choses, on m'envoie chier. Et ça marche ou pas? Apparemment non. Ah, attends. Ok.
These crystals are Takan technology. They seem to be active, just like the rest of their tech. Tetrametric pulses.
Tetrametric?
It's the energy signature of Takan technology. Everything they make gives off this type of radiation.
Mm-hmm.
They're blocking the inputs. It's not responding at all. Everything I try, it just ignores me.
I thought you had the access codes needed to take control back.
I should, but I can't actually get to the surface, so I can't enter them here. Maybe there's somewhere else I can try.
Et où? Là-bas? Moi je dirais de ça. Ouais, non, mais non. Là.
There are two interfaces on top of each other.
This is not a Lydian programming.
Bah non, c'est Chicon. Ah, peut-être là-haut, non? C'est un que je parle aux gens, on s'en fout. Ça, c'est quoi? Ouais, regarde là, ça peut être cool, ça, non?
Careful where you point that thing.
It's not active. I can't see any way this would work as a weapon. It's dead.
Out of ammo?
Ah, sure.
Ouais. Bah du coup, alors eux, faut pas leur parler, on s'en fout. Pas le time. L'espace, on s'en tape. Attends, on s'en tape, on va quand même checker, mais. Ah non, en fait, non, je vous ai dit la merde, ils sont bien dans le vaisseau. Je pense qu'ils sont dans le vaisseau de tout à l'heure là. Celui où il y avait le gros méchant. Je sais pas, je me rappelle plus de la gueule du vaisseau en fait. La première fois qu'on l'a vu. Là, on l'a revu tout à l'heure, mais je me rappelle plus si c'était le même. Ok. Ah, mais il y avait ça.
Where's the captain?
Captain Ostego did not survive the atmosphere poisoning.
I'm sorry to hear that.
He died defending the Empire. That's how he'd want it.
Quoique non, je vous dis de la merde. C'est sûr qu'ils sont pas là, c'est pas le vaisseau des... Ah bah voilà, c'est celui-là. C'est pas le vaisseau que je vous dis puisque sinon le méchant il serait là-dessus, il serait là en fait. Donc non, c'est un autre vaisseau. On va y arriver, on va y arriver. Non mais le problème c'est que Star Trek il faut suivre, hein, c'est compliqué quoi.
That much reactor output would drive us past the theoretical top speed of this ship. So how fast are we actually going?
Y'a rien d'autre à voir. Bah là, j'ai tout vu, hein. Je veux pas... à part aller parler aux artistes là-bas, là. À moins d'aller là.
Everything under control?
Yes. These Takan haven't made a move. Yet.
And what you're doing is working.
There's plenty more I can do. But it doesn't have to be that way. As long as they behave.
Ok. Bon, il y a un truc que j'ai dû zapper, hein, mais je sais pas ce que c'est. Merde, pardon.
Any trouble?
Don't worry about me. Worry about Stretch over there.
Why?
He's looking for any excuse to vaporize the prisoners. But I'll make sure he doesn't. Even if they're the enemy, it's not right.
Oui, t'inquiète.
Just hurry up and figure out this bridge. That's the best way to help.
Bon, j'ai tout regardé. Mais du coup, ah là, non? Ah non, c'est ça. Alors attendez. C'est vrai que j'ai peut-être pas tout analysé ici.
It's the Takan language.
From what I can tell, the ship's systems are actively responding.
Voilà, on a trouvé.
Which is the opposite of how most bridges work. They usually send commands, not receive them.
It's from an intrusive program. This control station won't do us any good either. What have they done to this bridge?
Consoles running themselves, some clogged up with crystals that are sending off tetrametric pulses.
But none of this is sending signals outward. It's receiving.
They're flying the ship from somewhere else.
That should be impossible. But it explains why there's less than a full bridge crew.
Eh oui.
If they aren't flying the ship from the bridge, where are they controlling?
En fait, peut-être que l'autre vaisseau est au-dessus. Ou je sais pas, c'est chelou. On est où là en fait? Je vous ai dit, c'est chelou cette situation. On est où? Là, regardez.
We're gonna be there in less than an hour.
We can't let that happen.
Hold on, it would take days to go this distance with our fastest ship. We're traveling at a warp factor many times greater than this ship should even be capable of. Even with the engines pushed as hard as they are.
Ouais, donc je pense que ce vaisseau-là est greffé sur le gros.
Whether it's these crystals or the power from the
Je sais pas, c'est bizarre.
The Takana found a way to increase the engine output and top speed. We have to find a way to hit the brakes before we outrun anyone who could help us.
Ou alors c'est vraiment les
Stop
cristaux.
it. So they can't get this ship where they're going and enact the next phase of their plan. That is, if they don't destroy us all first. I would have thought this ship would disintegrate going this speed.
So what is their endgame? They've transformed individuals, they've transformed this ship, in a way. How far will they go?
As far as we let them. Their technology certainly doesn't seem to have limit.
Eh oui.
I hate to think what the Cartabula could do if it was plugged into something it was meant to power.
Puis en plus je suis trop con, ce vaisseau là c'est le vaisseau des Alidiens à la base, donc oui c'était sûr que c'était pas l'autre. L'autre c'était un vaisseau Otari.
If we can learn nothing else, then what's left is to make these Takan talk. And if they don't,
Suis-je bête?
we'll dispose of them.
Hey, that's not how we do this.
That is enough from you.
Bon ok, lui il a merdé. Tue-le là.
I thought that thing was useless.
It was. No power. Until he touched it.
Ah.
It must be bio-coded.
Our technology will only work for one of our kind.
I can assure you, this weapon works just fine for me.
Slow down, Arminta.
You can't control this ship with the disruptor.
But I can use it to control you.
Ah!
Let's talk.
La torture, la torture. Numéro 1.
The Titan's communications officer says Captain Riker will be ready in just a moment. You need to see this. The report on the data breach.
Damn. It's worse than I'd hoped. They didn't just compromise our shields. They stole the shield algorithms for all of Starfleet as well. Meaning every ship is potentially vulnerable to attack, making this so much worse than it already was.
Là il faut peut-être
Given
le
the
dire.
potential consequences, we should notify Starfleet as soon as possible.
I don't disagree, but I'll reach out to Ambassador Spock about it. I don't want to cause a panic, and I doubt he does either.
I have Captain Riker for you.
Let's not mention any of this shield business to Riker just yet. Put him through.
Tu prends trop de risques toi. Ça va nous tomber sur la gueule ça.
Captain Riker, this is my first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
My pleasure.
Lui aussi il est connu.
Sir.
I wish we were all meeting under better circumstances.
So do I, although you and I have actually met before.
We have.
I was a young lieutenant on the Potemkin. You were first officer on the Tuckerman. I piloted you and our science officer in a shuttle to survey quantum resonance in the planetary rings of Residius 6.
Ah, yes. Now I remember.
You know, he gave me some good advice that day about a very difficult job. Yours.
Well, I'm not one to turn down some words of wisdom, sir.
And let me ask, as first officer on a starship, where does your responsibility lie, first and foremost? To the captain, the crew, or the ship itself?
L'équipage.
This old chestnut.
Bah l'équipage.
Curious to hear what she says, though.
Ultimately, my responsibility is to the crew at large.
The needs of the many. You have been hanging around Ambassador Spock. But the truth is, it's a trick question. Every situation is different, and there are no easy answers.
Merde.
And in some cases, it might not be any of those three. It could be the Prime Directive. Or the mission.
Yes, so perhaps we should get to the matter at hand. When you were with the Enterprise, you encountered a Takan entity known as Portal 6-3. The Enterprise was held captive in orbit until you were able to convince him to let the ship go.
All of which is detailed in the mission report.
What we want from you is what we can't get from the report. What can we use to get Portal 6-3 to help us?
I've often thought about that over the years. How a small difference in the encounter could have led to disaster. The most important thing is, don't let him push you around. He can appear as a man, or as a godlike projection. He'll test you, but don't be overwhelmed by the pageantry and theatrics.
T'inquiète, ça peut
I'll
se faire.
stand up to him. You can trust in that.
Good, but that's just the first step. Portal is full of bluster and bravado, but he can be reasoned with. And that's my other piece of advice. You want to appeal to him rationally. You don't want him thinking you're acting out of fear.
But we are afraid of the Takan, and with good reason.
He's not the sort to suffer fools. And he'll lose interest if he feels his time is being wasted.
I suppose that's one thing we have in common.
Do you think he knows that the Takan have returned?
He didn't even know they were gone when we went there.
Ah.
But the moment the Enterprise dropped into orbit around Delphi Ardu 4, he downloaded the entirety of the ship's computer. So I'd expect the same when you get there.
What if he won't cooperate and we have to face these Takan ourselves?
Then we have a much bigger problem on our hands.
What I mean is, in the 16 years since you discovered this outpost, there has to have been research. Battle plans for what to do about the Takan if we encountered more of them. I need to know what they are.
If I had that answer, it would have been the first thing I told you.
We both know Command has had their share of hidden plans in the past. Like Admiral Hansen and Captain Shelby's special projects.
Ok, donc on est un peu livré à nous-mêmes, si je comprends bien. Super! Super!
This isn't some Starfleet conspiracy to keep you in the dark. But if you two don't think you're equipped to make contact, you need to tell me now. Because there is no silver bullet here. Now's not the time to hesitate. I need to know you're up to this.
Were you equipped to meet Portal 6-3 all those years ago?
I'm here, aren't I?
Yes, you are. And we have the benefit of your experience on our side.
Fair enough. There was a special task force that considered the Takan, and I was part of it.
Ah!
But because there were no other signs of the Empire, we determined
Finalement.
the best course of action was to create a restricted zone around the Delphi Ardu system.
Finalement, quoi.
I have my concerns, but I'll clear the way with the brass for your travel into the restricted space. Just remember what I've told you. And it wouldn't hurt to read some Sun Tzu en route. Or Marcus Aurelius.
Anything else?
Your advice is well taken, Captain Riker. No matter what he throws at us, we'll stand up to this Takan Guardian.
I'm sure you will. Rest assured, the Federation is taking this threat very seriously. You won't be alone out there for too long.
Merci.
Thank you, Captain Riker.
Bon, déjà la Fédération, elle est au courant.
Ambassador Spock said that the Khan stole some data from your central computer. What's that all about?
We're still assessing the extent of the breach. Nothing to report as of right now.
That's it? Ambassador Spock suggested it was something more serious, which is why I'm asking.
We have our best people sorting it out. It's under control.
Okay. If I may, I recommend you keep Starfleet Command looped in very closely on that matter. There's a lot riding on this.
Putain, j'ai pris des risques, hein. J'ai encore couvert le capitaine. Hein.
Personally lend a hand in this fight.
Let's hope it doesn't get that far.
Riker out.
Aïe aïe aïe.
Thank you for not getting too specific with Riker about the data breach. Better we handle this ourselves, without all of Starfleet hearing about it.
I trust you had a good reason for withholding this information from Captain Riker.
This information will send a shockwave through the entire fleet. I'm sure Spock will agree. It should be compartmentalized on a strictly need-to-know basis.
Après, bon, ce qui me rassure,
So do you. I'm sure the ship's
c'est que
computer
Spock,
has Sun Tzu in its library.
Spock quand même est au courant. C'est pas comme si on cachait tout à tout le monde, vous voyez. Donc au pire des cas, on a quand même notre filet de sauvetage.
Transmitting the disable code Captain Riker provided.
That was unpleasant. Commander Ermont, what are the conditions of our systems?
All internal systems operational.
Commander Westbrook, what are your scans of the planet?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
No sign of this outrageously powerful Takan being?
I'm running a magneton scan now, but so far, Nothing. Where are you?
Prep your way, team. We don't know if Portal 6-3 will cooperate. He's not an asset. He's an enemy. So be ready for anything.
Aïe 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 aïe.
Prove you're worth keeping alive for a little while longer.
I cannot stop this ship any more than you could stop the tides.
Not good enough.
The impotent threats of a lower life form do not sway me. I will not bend to you. I was born 600,000 years ago.
Vas-y, pose des vraies questions, toi.
Are you the scion of the flame?
My name is Zan Utlosa. I was born in the final days of the Age of Makto. And we are all scions of the flame. Every one of us who have traveled across the bridge of time to be here for the Great Awakening.
Après, on peut peut-être essayer d'en raisonner un.
All sworn ourselves to the cause.
Eventually, one of you will break.
You don't understand how overmatched you truly are. This craft was nothing before we imbued it with the speed required by our mission. And the Cartabula produces enough energy to drive an entire fleet of ships like this one. But when we wake the Aphelion, we won't need a fleet.
The Aphelion?
Only then will you understand the might of the Takan Empire.
Ouais, c'est quoi la Aphelion?
And when you wake the Aphelion, what are you going to do with it?
Anything we want.
Come on!
Oh là là, elle est relou, elle.
Bad to worse unless you do what they say.
Merde.
It's coming alive.
He can't stop the ship.
Then he will. Or we cut off his hands and use them ourselves.
The moment I reduce speed or change our heading, the others will know. First, they'll just resume course from elsewhere. A trivial matter. And then, they will come here. For you, this is a dead end.
That's a risk I'm willing to take.
Not if they're just going to start it again.
So you believe him?
I'm not sure.
Why would you tell us all this?
I tell you because I value my own life. When my fellow scions come, and they will come, I expect you'll all act like the savages you are, and a battle wins you.
Eh oui.
You've all died once. I don't intend to do so again. I won't touch those controls. If you want to get us killed, do it yourselves.
You fear death.
Fallait
There's a
peut-être pas
way
lui
to
dire ça.
stop this ship for good, and he knows how.
Moi, je suis d'accord.
Just needs more pressure.
What kind of pressure?
On le
We
bute.
hurt him, he'll
Ah, le
talk.
torture. Ça me va, moi.
Trust me.
That's against Starfleet protocol.
You're not on a Starfleet ship. Your protocol does not apply.
Exactement.
We take the action that will lead to our victory. Don't assume your moral code takes precedence above all others.
Moi, j'ai pas le time.
I get the impression you know how to make people talk.
J'ai pas le time.
Break his arm?
No, don't.
What the hell, Carter? We don't torture people.
Ça va, on lui a juste cassé le bras.
You're wearing what it stands for?
He'll live. Isn't that what you want?
Don't you twist my words like that.
I have only just begun.
Stop, please. Wait. The warp course.
Ben voilà, on a eu la réponse qu'on voulait. Attends. Sinon, on n'aurait pas avancé. Hein.
On the warp cores to provide plasma to the engines. Disable those, and the ship grinds to a halt.
Sabotage.
This display is for all life forms on the ship. This is where the infiltrators are, the central artery of ship systems. Sensors, propulsion, weapons. And this is engineering.
It's deserted.
If I can get us there, can you cripple my ship? Not something I'd normally ask, but I'm coming around to it.
I got this. I'm an engineer. This is my territory.
Then we'll follow your lead.
This plan of yours has one problem. It strands us. Left out of the fight when there is a war going on.
Our fight is here, now. This is how we do the most good. For the Empire.
For the Empire.
So, Carter, you didn't beam out after all.
Ah, Miranda is here.
I thought you'd escaped when we boarded. I'd almost hoped you'd made it off. And Nilly's there with you too, right? It's good you two are together.
Sounds like you miss me.
Miranda might have. She was so hopeful about you. But that's not why I called. You're not a fighter. I know it. You know it. That's why you're hiding. Somewhere on this ship. But the Takan Empire has so much to offer you. Think of all the knowledge lost for 500,000 years that you'd have access to. I know you want more from life, and I want to show you what you could be a part of. Not just the wonders you've already seen from us. In our time, we had the power to move stars. Carter, you have a thirst for discovery.
In case you forgot, we were a part of something. I still am. The Federation may not be perfect, but it stands for ideals that your people clearly do not believe in.
We have our own ideals. And we have our own strength. Every one of us on this crusade has fought wars more brutal and consuming than you could fathom. But I want to reach a peaceful resolution to this. Carter, we have a plan for you. And for the others, too. We don't want to have to destroy you.
Vas-y, dis-moi le plan.
What's this plan you have? Is it the one where you steal our bodies and erase our minds?
That's a simplistic view of it. Your memories will live on within us. We can continue this conversation in person. I'll see you on the bridge very soon.
Our comm badges. She's tracking our location with them.
If we have to use force to free our fellow Scions, there will be casualties.
We can't stay here. And we need to disable the transmitters.
Where'd you go? You don't want to talk to me?
She's trying to keep you talking.
I mean, I get it. But I'm trying to help you. You're still there. I think that's because you know we have something to offer you. And you're starting to do the math. And realizing that making peace with us
Ce
is
n'est pas
better than
terminé.
the alternative.
You might think you have the upper hand, but you've never gone up against the Federation. This isn't over.
Pif. Ah oui, il y a la puce. Bon, le problème c'est que maintenant on peut plus communiquer entre nous quoi.
Mine's done too.
Time to hit the road.
Et lui là, le méchant, celui qui a le bras cassé, il en a un dessus aussi.
They know where we're going.
Laisse-le en vie. Ah!
Set to stun. You're not going to shoot a guy who's unconscious, are you?
You keep getting in my way.
You already broke his arm. What more do you want to do?
I want to eliminate loose ends.
And I did that for you.
Solve the problem of what to do with him. Now let's move it.
Ah, il est devenu badass lui. Ouais. On est efficace ou on l'est pas quoi hein. Ah, j'y vais avec la médecin.
Unlike Riker's team, we beamed down without a problem.
It's quiet.
Portal has to know we're
Ah, elle nous accompagne, ouais.
If he won't come to us, we'll go to him. Spread out.
Bon, à mon avis, il est loin.
This is where Portal 6-3 projected his image.
He was guarding this bridge. That has to mean something.
We'll move forward when you're ready, Commander.
Bah on y go. Allez.
Follow me. Ends here.
Bon, faut quand même qu'on maintienne en vie le médecin parce que ça serait con qu'on perde le tout-bip quoi.
Is it me, or did that path just disappear?
There was a path there a moment ago.
There must be an explanation.
Ouais, on verra plus tard, c'est pas grave. On s'en fout, on peut se téléporter. Qu'est-ce qu'on s'en tape? Tac.
Tetrametric pulses.
Same energy as the other Takan technology.
Most of the crystals appear dormant. What's different about this one?
Readings indicate there's a cavity in the rock right behind it.
We could try melting a hole through the wall with our phasers.
Worth a try.
Whoa!
An illusion.
I'm sure that wall was as real as the rest of them. I felt it.
It's almost like our holodeck technology, but far more advanced.
The crystals must be absorbing the energy from our phasers.
I'm picking up something. A biosignature.
Bon, il doit pas être très loin.
With me.
Another dead end.
Or another illusion.
Crewman LaRue, if you would.
Recrue la rue. C'est quoi ce blaze? Ah merde.
Devolve to Resolute.
La rue, il est dans les pommes.
Directly to medical.
Is he okay?
La rue est à la ramasse.
He'll live.
Not all crystals work the same, it seems.
Don't fire your phasers at any crystals unless we're sure they're putting out the same pulses as before. Looks like there used to be a bridge here.
Jadis, ouais. Je sais pas s'il y a des trucs à checker, mais...
We don't have any data about what's below the surface on Delphi Ardu-4. And I don't feel a particularly strong urge to find out.
Then that makes two of us.
Biosignature is coming from this direction. I'm sure of it. But there's no
Bon, je te
getting
fais
through
confiance.
here.
There's always a way.
Il doit bien avoir un truc à checker. Ah, ça là. Il n'y a pas un truc... Attendez. Genre... Par là. Quand il y a les trois lumières, c'est que c'est par là, non? Les trois lumières vertes.
Tetrametric. Good sign.
Attention les amis, ça va faire mal. Attention. Oh là.
Look at that.
Trust, but verify.
Indeed.
merde. Ils sont passés les autres? Ah. C'est lui. C'est lui hein. C'est peut-être celui de derrière, attendez. C'est celui de derrière, je vais me faire avoir. Comme un bleu. Ah merde non, c'est celui qui est encore derrière. Mais non. Ah le fail. Il est là. Attends. Il faut bien qu'on identifie lequel c'est. Je pense même qu'il est là en fait. On vérifie. Putain c'est lui là. Ah c'est lui. C'est bon, c'est lui. Ah les bâtards. Les bâtards. Le bleu. Bah, ça me rappelle quand même quand on allait dans les mines. Hein. C'était pas non plus la folie. Hein. J'ai entendu sonner là. C'est là. Ah, il veut d'abord que je le... Ah, quoique je suis pas sûr que ce soit lui, hein. Attendez. Est-ce que c'est pas celui qui est derrière encore? Regardez, on va se mettre là. Putain, je sais pas s'il faut que je tire sur le... Pour moi, il est derrière. Ah, j'ai peur. Attendez. Ah, c'est là. Oh, j'ai failli faire une bêtise. Aïe, aïe, aïe.
Tetrametric.
Putain.
Better go see what's different.
Ah, bah, je peux plus aller derrière. C'est ça.
The way is clear. Good work, Commander.
Oh, merci, merci.
Make sure it's safe.
Continuons. Il me suit ou pas? Je sais pas, la caméra elle a pas envie de m'aider. Si c'est bon, il me suit. Ah oui, là il est gros celui-là.
Incredible.
The plants here are actually alive. Is this the biosignature you detected, Doctor?
No, not a match.
Tetrametric.
Then it's creating an illusion as well.
Ouais, mais attends.
Based on the data we have so far.
Only one thing left to do.
Il faut tirer dessus.
Be ready to beam us out if it turns out we're wrong.
Deval to Resolute. Lock transporter on away team.
Ça peut partir en sucette, hein. Attention.
like this in any Federation record.
The plants.
Bah y a pas de plantes. Y a plus de plantes. Tout était fake. Et l'autre il va popper là.
Barbarians. It's him. How dare you disturb me? I'd hoped you had enough sense to leave of your own accord, but here you stand. Fools.
Bon, faut que je tienne tête.
In another time, I would have destroyed you and your ship simply for setting foot in this place. Fortunately for you, that time has passed.
Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire. We've come a long way to meet you.
Guardian? I am guardian of nothing. The Takan no longer exist. Don't care to be reminded. If this is why you
Ils sont revenus.
then you should leave. Now.
I'll cut right to it. The Takan have returned.
Returned? My people have come back? How can that be? I've been alone for so long. If it is true, how did they return?
Taconian technology made it possible. To enable the transfer of consciousness from one being to another after physical death. We call it bioforming. A group of Taconians calling themselves Scions of the Flame used it to reawaken after hundreds of millennia.
Scions of the
Ah, il les connaît.
Is something wrong?
Oh oui.
I'd hardly call them Takan. They were a radical faction with
Ah voilà, c'est pas vraiment les Ticons. C'est des méchants, c'est des vrais bad guys quoi. Ça se peut les Técons là, ils sont plus gentils.
You want me to help you destroy them. That's why you've come. You want to destroy these scions.
There is a war looming that could engulf the quadrant. We want you to help us bring about peace before it gets to that point.
Peace always comes at a cost.
They have an incredibly powerful energy source they call the Cartabula.
These scions have the Cartabula.
And they've used it as a weapon against us.
I will speak with you alone.
What are you...
Okay.
Where are we? Where's my team?
They're safe where we left them.
Oh mais mec, t'es pas drôle là.
That the scions have stolen the Cartabula is deeply concerning. And to be honest, I'd rather speak with you alone, John Rydeck. Your colleagues don't know what it means to be the last of one's kind. You and I are remnants of fallen civilizations. The Cobliad.
Eh oui.
Takan. One dying, one dead. Our species could not be more different, but we both know the meaning of loss. The others wouldn't understand. It's beyond their ability to comprehend.
I see you're hurting, and I understand your pain. But pain shouldn't stop us from moving forward.
You do not understand me, nor the pain I feel for the loss of our once glorious empire.
Et cette discussion là, on aurait pas pu la avoir directement? Ou genre tu me téléportes quoi, là où tu veux m'amener, plutôt que de me faire avancer là comme ça dans un endroit assez dangereux.
Tell me, why spend your days away from your own people when so few of them are left? Why live your life working for this federation to which the Cobliad do not even belong? And submit yourself to their authority? It makes no sense. Not by my logic.
The Federation isn't an authority to be obeyed. At its heart, it's a set of principles meant to ensure the survival and safety of all species, regardless of their origin. You told Riker you'd wait until you were needed. You're needed now. We need you.
As much as it pains me to learn the Cohabitation has fallen into the hands of the Scions,
Je pense que je me débrouille pas trop mal dans la négoce.
services are not up for offer.
Ah. Peut-être pas en fait. Peut-être pas.
To be chosen as a portal was to give one's entire self to the cause of protecting the Deccan Empire. I left behind everything I know, and now you want me to turn against my own people. Betrayal of my oath, and everything I vowed to protect.
These aren't the Deccan you knew. They're a facsimile. They're imposters. And they tarnish the Deccan name.
Oh oui.
We faced these questions in my time as well. What you call bioforming, we thought of as a marginal science. But if these reborn Deccan plan to restore the Empire, is that a disaster to be avoided? Decanian technology is so advanced, it could save millions of species currently on the brink of extinction. Including your own.
Ouais mais eux, je suis pas sûr qu'ils veulent sauver les espèces.
Think of how the many could benefit. Instead, it sounds as if you are reacting out of fear before you have a full understanding of what's at stake. I don't think you've given this full consideration. You may have more to gain than to lose.
The Deccan Empire is gone. It had its opportunity and proved unable to survive. There must have been a reason the Deccan have faded to a distant memory. It ran its course. And those of us who are here now deserve to choose our own fate.
You said the Deccan vanished for a reason.
Oui.
I cannot claim our empire was without sin.
Ah, je crois que j'ai fait mouche là.
To see these scions masquerading as true Deccan. So I will go with you. And we shall find them.
Ben voilà.
But when we do, I will judge them myself as a guardian of the Deccan, to understand their true intentions, for better or worse.
That's good enough for me.
Very well. I'll return.
Nickel ça. Eh, le roi de la négoce.
Commander.
C'est bon, il est clean.
Hold your fire.
De toute
I'm
façon,
all right.
il peut vous buter en
He's
one shot.
coming with us.
We assumed the worst.
She's perfectly fine. Now then, shall we?
All right. We can beam up your... Do you have any equipment or tools?
C'est lui qui va nous téléporter. Il fait ce qu'il veut lui. Il fait ce qu'il veut.
Whoa.
This is all I need.
Away team +1. Ready to beam up.
Allez, on va s'arrêter là-dessus, les amis. Écoutez, je crois qu'on a dépassé la moitié du jeu. Oui. Je pense que là, encore en peut-être deux let's play, allez, 3 maximum, on termine le jeu. Donc ça, c'est une bonne nouvelle. Mais là, l'histoire, elle prend un tournant qui est assez intéressant. On a enfin un allié. Pour la première fois, on ne subit plus. Pour la première fois, on commence à avoir un peu d'espoir. Et c'est tant mieux. Voilà, allez, je vous laisse. J'espère que ça vous a plu. N'hésitez pas à mettre comme d'hab un petit commentaire ou un petit pouce. Ça fera toujours plaisir. A plus tout le monde.